and welcome to
This is the international news on Atlantic Television Network. First, the headlines. From Japan. Our Supreme Court has ruled that puts his chances of running in presidential election at risk. Have been confirmed. Sonko lost on all counts. State lawyer Erhaj Diouf said on Friday after the judge ruled to uphold the 6-month suspended sentence following a more than 12-hour hearing. He added that Sonko was now totally banned from taking part in an election. The 49-year-old had filed his candidacy papers last month while in custody to compete in the February 2050 elections. Sonko has been in jail since July after his arrest on insurrection charges when he was also struck stoking violence dissolved his Patriots of Senegal party in July. No doubt the political aspects of this affair, which aims to eliminate the leader of the opposition, said PASTEF spokesperson El Malik Ndiaye on the latest ruling. Sonko still remains in the race, he said on national radio. Sonko placed third in Senegal's 2019 presidential election and is popularly acquitted of murder and convicted of culpable homicide, the equivalent of manslaughter, in 2014 and started a 5-year jail sentence. In October 2014, he was released to house arrest to serve the rest of his sentence at his uncle's home when he fired the shot. In 2016, he was sentenced to 6 years in prison, less than half the 15-year minimum term sought by prosecutors. The following year, the Supreme Court ruled that sentence was shockingly lenient and raised it to 15 years minus time already served. The decision to grant him parole was made last November. The Department of Correctional Services is able to confirm that Oscar Pistorius is a parolee effectively from 5th January 2024. He was admitted into the system of communications imposed by the parole board, had affirmed her belief in the South African Regional Bloc, IGAD. No date or location for the talks have been announced. During Thursday's meeting with Dagalo, Ramaphosa said he hopes there would be an imminent face-to-face dialogue between Dagalo and Burhan and called for an immediate ceasefire. Ramaphosa spokesperson Vincent Magwenya said Dagalo is on a tour of African countries. He met with Kenyan President William Ruto on Wednesday following visits to Uganda, Ethiopia, and Djibouti. Tensions between former allies Dagalo and Burhan erupted in all-out war in mid-April in the Sudanese capital Khartoum and elsewhere across the country. Not just to wound him, but to kill him, and that he fears his enemies might even target him in the hospital. I don't know who to trust right now, he said in Khan Yunis. There was no immediate response from Israel's military. Israel's defense minister on Thursday on a new combat approach in northern Gaza while continuing to fight Hamas in the south of the territory for as long as necessary. Ahead of a visit by the U.S. Secretary of State, Yoav Gallant also outlined a proposal for how Gaza would be run once Hamas is defeated, with Israel keeping security control while an undefined, Israeli guided Palestinian body runs day-to-day administration and the U.S. and other countries oversee rebuilding. Israel has come under heavy international pressure to spell out post-war vision, but so far has not done so. The issue is likely to be on the agenda in Secretary of State Antony Blinken's talks Israel to protect its citizens against the terrorist organization Hamas. Israeli Prime Minister